Well, hello and welcome to ThePrint. Today we will be discussing about the Pollachi, that is in Tamil Nadu, the sexual assault case, which has not only shaken up the country, but also it has exposed the underbelly of social media and how a lot of crimes that are committed through social media have ramifications and affect people. But this specifically, we've seen how it affects women. Now, if you look at the way the Pollachi sexual assault case panned out, I'll give you a small brief first. It was a few weeks ago that a victim actually complained to the Pollachi police, saying that she was being blackmailed by a friend and few of his friends with pictures and videos of her after they sexually assaulted her. They were trying to manipulate her to get money from her. They had taken away some gold from her. So what is important to understand is how she went ahead and mustered the courage not only to tell her family but also to tell the police about it. But she is the only survivor who has as of now filed a complaint. Now, based on those blackmailing that took place and the tracking of the police tracked their mobile numbers and tracked the accused, they have been arrested, but she's not the only victim. The police have found several videos, and as of now, the conservative numbers that have been given officially are around 20. But we have been also told unofficially that the mobile phones of the four accused would cross more than around 50 to 100 videos, and there could be several other victims. And they're hoping that the other victims will come forth. The modus operandi was very simple. They would befriend women, working women, college students, single women, homemakers through Facebook or other social media sites, chat with them, take their numbers, and then later connect with them and also meet them. So one of them would befriend them, call them to a secluded place, or rather call them to a public place, then take them in a vehicle to a secluded place and commit the act. The act could be multiple things. It could be just videographing them, taking pictures, also sexually assaulting them. And then later what we've also seen is that through their confessions, that to the police, they have said that how they were trying to extort money from several women, and they have been doing it for close to 2 years. Now, there are multiple facets to this incident. One is that it's a horrific crime, something that has exposed, like I said, the underbelly of the social media. Second, it has shaken up not just Tamil Nadu, because political parties have stepped in and now there's a political twist to it. And thirdly, it also brings about the fact that there is a need for awareness to understand that connecting with people, unknown people, be it women or men, does have its consequences. The world is not safe anymore, and there are other ways. But more importantly, if we look at the case now, after the FIR was filed by the victim, her brother was assaulted, and based on the assault they finally identified the same men who were blackmailing her to be also involved in the assault. But there was also allegedly an AIA DMK Pollachi party worker who was involved in the assault, and his involvement is also he was arrested. It's also being probed. But initially the Tamil Nadu government gave it to the crime branch, but now they have decided on the recommendation of the DGP of Tamil Nadu that it be handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. Now that is why it becomes important. One, it's a case which needs a lot of technical expertise because it involves videos, it involves tracing other victims through the help of how social media could do. Today we're taking questions from people, from you. You can please connect with us on this. I can answer as much as you can. I've got the first question from Gautam asking, can we give them capital punishment to these creatures? Well, see, we have the law of the land is important. Yes, it is important. They have to be given the strictest punishment, but we should also let them also go about checking as to how the Indian CRPC is strong enough to book them. But we need to have victims come forward. It is important to report these cases. It is important for the police to know. It is also important, equally important for the police to be equally to connect with the victim and allow some amount of the grievances to be told and not brush them away. We have seen several cases in such ways. They have to be sensitive, and we have seen, when I spoke to the Pollachi SP, he did say that any victim can come forth and complain in any police station. It is open. They should be able to add to this, but it clearly shows that yes, there is a need for strict punishment. We have the Supreme Court and the courts to decide what kind of punishment. Yes, we are all angered. Our blood boils when we see this. It affects each and every one of us. It is as if it has happened in our own houses. It is about our people that we are talking about. Also, in terms of, yes, keeping a check on social media is very important, because that is something that we need to see. I have a question coming from Peter. Why is prosecution not consistent in sexual assault cases? This is one of the reasons why it keeps happening. Absolutely right. There is a need for prosecution. There is a need where we need to have a kind where punishment is given out to every crime that has been proven, and the strictest punishment then we've seen. But let me also tell you that, Peter, we have seen how capital punishment has been given, and we have seen the case in several rape cases in the country where it has happened. But what is important is a need to change the mindset, the need to respect one another, the need to understand that another person is a human being, the other person is a woman, and the other person cannot be exploited. Now, why I'm specifically, yes, men also have been victims to it, but I'm specifically saying it to women because a large number of victims and survivors are women. There needs to be, there is a need for the justice system also to work faster. Absolutely, prosecution is important in this entire scheme of things. Let me also tell you that while we are at this, I'm also given to understand that the cyber forensic experts have now joined in the investigation of the Pollachi case. Now, this is important, like I was saying, because to understand the background of how this information worked, because I explained the modus operandi to you, but there was a bigger network, and what we have given to understand is that the victims, their numbers were shared on social media. There were others who connected with them and tried to exploit them and blackmail them with those videos, and they had to submit themselves. Now, if there are such cases, that is when the Pollachi police, the Tamil Nadu police, as well as now the CBI is asking women or victims to come forward and present their case, so that these culprits can be brought to book, they can be sent behind bars, because it is important that if we do not show action now, then it is not possible that such kind of criminal acts and criminals are deterred in society. There are a few things that we have seen that actually turned the whole case around a bit. One is the political angle to it, because it did put Tamil Nadu, the present AIDF government in Tamil Nadu in the dock, because one of their party workers, who was immediately suspended later, was found involved in the case. The police have arrested him, but they let him out on bail because they need to still find evidence for his direct connection to this entire case. But the DMK, the others also immediately came and picked, and they definitely took up this issue with several other opposition. Capital punishment has not shown its work statistically, is what Peter continues to discuss with me. Yes, it has not shown statistically. See, the reason why we amend laws, the reason why our Indian Penal Code is in its place and is one of the most strongest of the laws in most countries, is because punishment is due to the people after the criminal is found to be guilty. But we need to go through that judicial process. But there are 2-3 steps that we need to keep in mind. Number one, we need to understand that we have to be careful. Number two, we have to bring the people to book, then we need to come forward. Number three, we need to allow the judicial process to complete its system. But we also need to understand that there has to be, like I said, sensitivity, from the police, the investigators, to ensure that they get to the bottom of it, and speedy justice. That is important, because we do not close cases immediately, because we do not bring the culprits to book, and there is a feeling that they will get let off. Now there is a political, because there's a political angle to this, they do feel that they may have political backing from the people who could be, who for the parties they work for. Well, it clearly is not, because here in today's world there is zero tolerance to such things, and we have seen that it is not allowed at any point of time. Now I'll come back to the political angle, because we saw how TMK leader Kanimori also took it up and said that even the name of the victim should not have been released. There was a huge error in that, where we did see that not just let me quickly take a question. The biggest deterrent can be speedy and exemplary punishment, says Rakesh Gupta. I agree, and that is what I have been also emphasizing on, and this is what we also need to understand from, we need to explain to our police officials and to the governance and to people who are investigating the case, that we need to ensure that people are brought to book, and such kind of acts are completely unacceptable. Even it is not about getting to just trying to lure somebody for gains itself is completely wrong. So it is a case that is being built, and that is why I say it is an exemplary case of showing how the underbelly of social media can have its problems. It's just not social media because they're connected on mobile phones and everything later. Safety, security is important. People need to feel secure, women need to feel secure, young students, college students need to be secure. They need to be sure that even if they're walking on the streets, they are walking into a safe world. The political twist to this thing is now that while the opposition is taking this whole case, saying that the AIDMK is not doing much about it, we also have to understand that this is a huge embarrassment for us as society, because we continue to have such people. One of the accused actually, who was not arrested till the 5th of March, actually put up a video saying he's innocent, and that was being circulated. As society also, we need to ensure that we do not circulate such kind of videos to allow such propaganda to take place. In terms of how the case is going forward right now, we know how a lot of college students, a lot of lawyers, everybody from different walks of life supporting the victim and saying that the case has to be probed as soon as possible. I now have an update that the 5 phones of the accused have been seized, and they also been handed over to the CBI. The contents are being analyzed, and that is where the forensic experts come in. The videos, the images, we've seen some of the videos, and we can just hear the voice of the victim, and it affects each one of us. Young people need to be educated. Friendships on social media with unknown be avoided. This is what is Rakesh Gupta is saying. Yes, Mr. Gupta, that is exactly how it is. We also have our own responsibility, social responsibility, to be aware of whom we're connecting with on our on various social websites, or whatever be it, because we need to be careful. Social media, the last few years we've seen the boom of social media, and there is a tendency for us to connect and to meet more people, but while doing so we also understand that these kind of ill effects will happen. There have been crimes earlier. It's not that there's a spike now. It's just that people are more aware and they're coming out. But there is an appeal that is being made by the police time and again. There is an appeal that is also being made by the victim herself, that to strengthen the case, the other victims also need to come forth. The other victims also need to come ahead and talk about whether they have been assaulted, whether the accused are involved, or is this a bigger nexus and ring. Now Peter also says, should we have separate cybersecurity cells to deal with crimes against women? Online doesn't seem to be a very safe place. We have cybersecurity cells. Every single every single area does have a cybersecurity police station. Point is that it has to be reported. Point is, once it is reported, it needs to be detected, and it needs to be also investigated thoroughly. Cybersecurity needs to be upped in a way, because today it's a way of life, as we speak today and connect on YouTube, we are connecting through social media. We are also, this is also a way of generating awareness, and we need to do it on every part. And as we start individually also to ensure and say that social media is a boon and a bane. A boon because we're able to disseminate information, we're able to communicate with people, we're making them more aware, but while we're doing that, we're also losing a sense of security, and we need to ensure that it will still be a safe place. And again, while I be talking to a lot of leaders in not just in Tamil Nadu but other places also, calling this a horrific incident, they also say that we have to ensure that as many victims come forth and they talk about it, because one is that this could be just one case. Tamil Nadu could be just an example. There could be several such cases in Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan or in Andhra Pradesh or any part of the country. And if there are such cases, it has to be brought, and that is only how we could actually investigate. Let me also come towards we are also seeing how in the Pollachi case there have been some developments that we are looking at. A series of people have been questioned. There have been four arrests as of now, but while the protests continue, the police also are hoping that they will be able to detect and break down any amount of any other information, or that for that matter any information that could help in that could possibly help in investigations. Now we have some reports online coming from we have the Business Standard now saying that the DMK front has asked for a court-monitored probe in the Pollachi case. Well, that is important because we need to have a balanced view. We cannot, because one of the allegations that is going around is that the probe was being deterred. It is also there is a lot of possible political influence, and that could possibly delay the investigations. And a court-monitored probe is extremely important, and that is why the DMK has decided, they have taken a resolution demanding the High Court that when the CBI probes this matter, it is court monitored, and this will also help in speedy justice. So wrapping up this entire thank you for your questions first, but wrapping up this entire interaction that we've had, let this also be one fact that while we do understand that we will be reporting, giving you updates here at The Print as to what has been happening in this particular case, but there would be also it is also a responsibility that we will continue to expose it if there are more cases of this across the country. While doing so, let's just take one last point from Rakesh Gupta, who says social media like Facebook and WhatsApp must be prevailed upon to cooperate in such kind of situations. Yes, social media, they have to, and if they have been intimated, it is a part of the process, but they have to be more aggressive about it. While we're doing so, as society also, we need to be aggressive to ensure that we are safe, and we also ensure that we enter safe areas, and such kind of criminal acts should be brought to focus and to be brought up as soon as possible. So again, with the appeal that the police have been making and the CBI have been making, asking other victims to come forward, we are hoping that this investigation will lead to the conclusion, and some justice will be delivered while doing so. But we will also continue to give you live coverage and updates on the Pollachi case from here at The Print. Thank you so much for joining us.